Welcome to my humble abode. I'm Yoki the Tailspinner, and if you're like me, one cup is never enough to start the day. But let's put some pep in our step. The Outer Worlds. And the second cup. Now, I forget exactly where we are. We've got some stuff done. We've just sorted out the factory for us. What are we doing here? Velma Ballard manages warehouse in Stella Bay. Calibert and the autoloader operators are asking for a raise, but their boss... Let's see where she is, shall we? We have to step out of here. Also sold some junk. We have some money now. We have a place that we can things up. Not seeing a workbench in here, but that doesn't mean there isn't. Oh well. Ah, there we are. Over there.
So Ada isn't really alive, but she can still talk.
Tinker. That is now 320 DPS. Level 16. Modify. Oh yeah. It is now 320 DPS with
Talk like a
shock
person.
damage.
What about Sam? What's it? Sorry. Is he the same thing?
Sam's an automechanical thing, not a computer brain thing like Ada. I don't think Sam understands gender, so you can call him in if you want.
Right, but she's a machine, he's a machine. How are they different?
You know how I said Ada was special? Her wiring's a whole lot more complex than Sam's, so she can simulate a personality better than he can. She got more tools in her box, so to speak.
So
Right, let's have a word with Velma here.
Making every...
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Catherine said she should be winning a box if you keep running your yap like that.
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Don't you have rules about this sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit.
No, that's the
Since
thing.
you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments.
Yeah, I can do that.
Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
Let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
Caleb says they need a raise to keep up with the price around here.
Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire Sublight contractors at this rate.
Yeah, someone's going to notice shortfalls before long. You're going to be held responsible.
Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
It is.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on.
Are you willing to meet him halfway?
For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life.
So no butching at all. Alright.
Fine by me.
Ed Braxton has been stealing drugs.
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Why didn't you turn him in?
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the Saltuna, fat and mostly tumor-free.
Alright, I'll talk to you later. Braxton's apartment. Where is he? Over this way.
Did you have a sweetheart in Stellar Bay?
I had a fling or two, sure. But on Monarch, relationships ain't usually meant to last. A lot of fools tried to impress me, feigning bravado in the wild, thinking they'd catch my attention with their stories. It was cute. Not so cute when their act got themselves munched. You know what's sexy? Confidence. You know what ain't? Disembowelment.
True. Only theft if they see it. They dead? Might be. I mean, what they aren't, certainly he's awake. Ah.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
I'm looking for Braxton. Have you seen him?
Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Like, no one's in trouble. I'm just looking to have a friendly chat with him.
Oh. In that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
That's all I needed. You can go back to whatever you were doing.
Hope he's okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Dropping a care package off at the Mathers in the old ruins south of Stellar Bay. Be back soon. Stay out of my things.
Everything's spinning. I'm just gonna take it easy, okay?
Yeah, he says you gotta stay out of his things, but that's between you and him, I guess. See if there's anything else around here that I can access.
Sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
The stainless steel rat.
They ain't safe these days. What's the world coming to?
My god, the stainless steel rat. I forget who wrote them. They're a series of books that were also adapted into comic form by 2000 AD. British comic. Jim DeGraze was a character known as the stainless steel rat. My god, that takes me back. Forgive me, I have to look up who wrote the stainless steel rat. It's playing on me. It was Harry Harrison. I knew it was Harry someone. Right, and Angelina was his girlfriend, later wife, I believe. I forget what her surname was, her last name. Now let's see what stainless steel rat says. Not clear what happened to the victim, but something in might point in the direction. Might it? And this betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonists. It's some left field toss ball betting. Looks like that was an update on the stainless steel rat. Looks like it was bets gone bad. Careful with that stuff. Alright, in the meantime... Well, since we're here, let's see if there's anything else. But we're still looking for stuff in here. Several ragged outfits, all the same cut and colour, were stuffed into the suitcase. Okay. So we're investigating the toss ball betters now, are we? What's up here first?
What's that smell coming out of Celia's apartment?
Probably whatever she bought from that guy who sells animal parts.
Bastard.
I swear, she buys something from him every day.
Yeah, we've been in here. I think we had. I thought it was the other stairs. Ah, it's both up to the same thing. Gotcha. Right.
you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths.
I play for Anticleo's Darlings. Don't you recognize me?
I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch?
This is part of a goodwill tour of Halcyon. We're meeting our fans across the colony.
Ha! Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you?
Found this betting slip in a dead man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened to it?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
Cut to the chase. Do you know what happened or not?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Alright, thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Off we go.
Smells like rat gun. Oh, it does work.
I don't know what it is, but my gun's been acting funny. Used to be, I had to correct for a bit of leftward drag. Got used to standing just so, and after a while, it put a thorn in my side.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley.
It's not very secret, friend.
Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Did she? I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
You really don't want to mess with Sublight's VP of Aggressive Acquisitions.
Well, wait, you're the new Sublight partner? Look, I don't want any trouble.
Then get out of here
You
fast.
won't see us again, I promise.
Then we need to tell Sanjar about it.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've got a strange idea of what
You've
turns you on,
often
but okay.
posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
No, you have a meeting with me.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here?
I'm just looking for the information broker.
Out at Devil's Peak? If you're headed that far, I see you've brought the right woman for the job.
Damn right.
But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Could always be both.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
Yeah, well. What exactly are you hoping to accomplish here?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for
I've heard
10
that.
years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
I don't... Dang it, Captain, that's not right. Folks on Monarch shouldn't have to suffer just because the board says so.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
You're tired of scrounging and scraping by, is that it?
Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
So what are you going to do about it then?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. They'll just find another reason to turn tail and abandon you.
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
Sounds like you're a good woman here. She knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Yeah, you got a bit of a Raptidon problem, I've noticed that.
And a Mantisaur problem.
That too.
And a Marauder problem.
That too.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Could be fun. Sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Ordinance or ordnance?
An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
There's nothing the board likes so much as paperwork.
Can a legal document really be that important?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Then I'll go get it for you.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Might want to talk to you about something else.
What can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
Elijah and his gang. Ran them out of town.
I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them. They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town.
Yeah, I believe that.
I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them. Eventually.
Of course you would have.
Of course I would have. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
Thank you. What about MSI and the good old days?
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
You mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
What happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
Oh, thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers.
I agree with you more.
Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people.
You remember
right
how
because
your
it's the
people
right
treated
thing to
people?
do.
Here, here. That may not be the way the colony works, but it damn well oughta.
Agreed.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy.
Yeah, the board scum.
Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Using the board's own tools against them. Yeah, that's smart.
That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI.
You might be the first decent
I moved
executive
forward with
I've
our
seen.
planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop.
Yeah. Well, they are scum.
Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Yeah, they'll do that, I'm sure.
I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Why do you want to go back to the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, but they need overthrowing.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities,
people like
then
scum.
That's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Good luck with that one. What leverage are you talking about, though?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes. It'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
What's the hazard clause?
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Sounds like the rich.
Ryoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
Well, I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
That's the board. They've invoked it on Monarch, haven't they?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
And you think they're going to cut you a decent deal? Don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Got strong feelings on the matter.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
Figure you've been abandoned here, don't they? Talk about something else.
What can I do for you?
I met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
Yeah, he did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Yeah, I gotta go. Level 18. Perks. Oh, we can do level 3 now. Good. 50% science weapon damage. Whenever you're affected by harmful combat effects, you deal increased damage. 100 kilogram carrying capacity might not be bad. Next attack after killing an enemy is guaranteed critical hit. Sent ranged weapon sway. Headshot kills deal 25% of their damage to enemies within 25. Revive companions 25% health. Ranged attacks inflict -1 armor rating for 10 seconds. Then stack up to -10. I think we'll go for carrying capacity right now because we keep getting overloaded. Might not be the best one, but that's what we're going to go for. Exiting Stellar Bay.
Ooh. Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload salt tuna shipments at the cannery.
You'll get used to it. Give it 10 or
go. All kinds of. Alright, welcome to the Archives, Records, and Miscellaneous Storage Arms. Please select one of the menu options. View Executive Reviews, accessing, load last document. Executive Review for Sanjar Nandi. Sanjar has a bad habit of padding his reports with numbers and statistics, not very good with slogans, jingles, or other taglines. Presentation tends to be dry and lacking in emotional appeal and funny references. Sanjar also displays a noted tendency to complete work rather than delegating it, a trend unbecoming in upper management. All in all, Sanjar's work habits suggest a preoccupation with details and a startling lack of vision. We cannot recommend him for further advancement. Needs improvement in the following areas: interpersonal communication, brevity, delegation, idea generation. Okay. Accessing. Graham's understanding of product messaging and branding is impressive, especially for a relatively low-level editor. He has a knack for memorable slogans and taglines, but Graham has issues with brevity and shows consistent disregard for prescribed fonts and formats. Some of his work has been flagged for subversive undertones. Dora Erickson. Dora shows a real knack for brief but compelling presentations supported by catchy slogans. Her delegation skills are also top-notch. She can build a lengthy meeting around any topic and emerge with plenty of work assigned. Wow, you really do have a screwed-up view of what helps management, don't you? Let's get into it.
For boots?
It's not like a rapstone for a bit of fun with whoever this is.
Get away!
I'm just messing with you. Who's in there?
Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Manta Queen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here and, now the door's locked. Little help?
Got locked in? How?
It's easier than it sounds, alright? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions.
Well, I need to get into that room.
Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched.
Entirely possible.
For a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Oh, much obliged.
Phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights.
Still landing yourself in trouble, eh, Hux?
Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home? Oh, you're traveling with someone. Never mind.
You sure you're okay to travel?
Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy and... Hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend?
Yeah, you don't sound good. Normally, when you help someone, they give you something for their trouble.
What? I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect?
That can work. By being saved by me, you entered a non-negotiable contract. How my recompense? Can't buy ammo with appreciation and respect. I mean, I appreciate it, and I respect you trying, but I can't buy ammo.
That's true. Okay, fine. Here.
All right, just beat it.
Yes, sir.
For comms, isn't it? Turn to Sanja.
Well, I see you've had a sobering effect on our friend Nyoka.
Sir, please stop.
Forgive me, Celia. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Here's the bolt we wanted.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
How exactly is a data cartridge going to help?
What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that.
Well, you're detail-oriented,
liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
Yes, paperweight.
See, that doesn't even make sense. This is an electronic form. We don't need paperweights.
Hardly the point, sir.
Tell me what you're planning.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Those bastards. Leave us to our perils, then come back just to reap what they can.
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board.
And you slide out. Well done.
You really think so?
Yeah, it sounds smart.
I admit, I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are.
Well, we worked for her before, so I might know how to make her talk.
I imagine you do. But as much as I love your can-do attitude and dangerous gravitas, Catherine handles all of our shipments. So it would be best if you could leave her in one piece. Is that how you people put it?
Us people. Watch it with the you people, friend.
Of course. I didn't mean to make assumptions. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it.
I've got an idea, actually. I might know what it is.
I knew you were the right person for the job. I suppose I'll leave you to it.
Oh, I also found your review on the terminal in the arms building.
You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it.
I did. It was already open, you see.
Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career.
Oh, it's gone now.
I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them.
Cares what they think. You're in charge now.
In charge of a scrap heap of a city. Abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners.
And you made it work. That's more than anyone else can say for those execs.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you.
You get the job done and you're decent to your
was
people.
Was there something else?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about you having money trouble?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this.
You reckon?
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
I wonder why. Maybe I can talk to him for you. Well, why don't you just ask him on a date?
I couldn't. What if he says no?
Then you'll know.
Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
What is it you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about.
He might just be an idiot, you know.
Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
I only want to be with someone you can't talk to.
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
There are other fish in the sea, Celia.
Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up.
Alright, that's all I need to know on that,
Sorry,
I think.
Sometimes I get carried away.
Talk to you later. We'll talk to Catherine. Heading away from the place, of course. Wait, that's Monarch Wilderness. No, we're going this way. That's right. That's right.
You seen Arthur today?
Judging from the blood spatter on your shirt, I take it you visited my favorite cleaner?
Let's talk about something else, though.
Sure.
Daniel said you knew something about a corporation operating a secret on Monarch.
Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the Northern Bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely.
Yeah, I can do that. Well, that's all you know. I reckon you know more. If I'm going to do this for you, maybe you should tell me more. Like the friend we are?
We are friends, but them who push me end up dead. Look, I don't know if this is related, but it ain't escaped my notice that one of my regulars been lingering a little too long at the gambling bar. She's been acting twitchy, even for her. Ask at the bar about a customer who shows up bi-weekly. My staff may know more.
Alright, that's enough for now.
Winning or losing, it's all the same to me. What's your order?
No order, just need information on a regular. Twitchy, it might be corporate.
Let me think back. Yeah, I got a regular who's been twitchier than normal lately. Every time she bets, she loses big. Then she pounds a mountain of daiquiris upstairs. You ought to ask Yvonne. She'd know Ms. Twitchy better than me.
Fair enough. Get out of your head. Oh, Yvonne, where didn't your shell like?
Pick your poison. We've only got all day. So, what's your story?
Looking for someone twitchy, burns through daiquiris when she loses big.
Oh, that does ring a bell. I remember one lady. She never penned a name in the book. Her friend Huxley placed the collateral for her. Huxley's with the Iconoclasts. Know of her? She's not quite all there.
Huxley drinks here? Right, she can operate a door when she's hammered.
Does give her trouble from time to time. Once she got stuck in the bathroom. Had to break a window to get out. Anywho, she's probably in Amber Heights with the rest of Graham's Iconoclast folks.
Alright, I'd like to see your drinks, and actually, mostly want to sell the junk. Off to Amber Heights then, talk to Huxley.
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the Iconoclasts. I'm Rose. Please, take a pamphlet. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his philosophist truths, and the Iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know.
Did he?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it.
Who are the Iconoclasts?
Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems.
No problems. What about Raptidons or Marauders?
Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep.
One big happy family, huh?
That's a nice way to think about it. Graham would be our father. I suppose Zora might make a good mother if the two of them could stop arguing. You can think of those two as our leaders, but they're more like examples. We all ought to be more like them.
If you say so. Tell me about Graham.
Why, he's our founder. Graham taught us about philosophism. Through him, we came to the eternal truth. I'm glad you're asking, by the way. I hope you'll consider staying.
And Zora?
Well, she's been with us since the beginning. I think she was our sawbones back then, but now she's more like our commander.
Commander, huh?
She goes and finds people in the wilderness and gets them to come here. And she keeps us from being chewed on and whatnot. She's liable to take your head off if you screw up, but then she'll sew it back on for you.
Might be a bit late then. Where can I find them?
Graham's place is in the large building straight back. Zora's sometimes there talking with him, but usually she's in the triage clinic next door.
Why are you here and not in Stellar Bay, by the way?
Oh, Graham settled here a long time ago. Shoot, I wish I had a pamphlet to give you. It's all in there.
Really?
I wasn't around back then, but they say a lot of the old MSI corporate folks died here. He calls it a spiritual metaphor, something about rising from the ashes.
Got it. Hey, before I go, I'm looking for Tucker. Have you seen him?
The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly.
Did he?
Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Alright then.
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the dead critters.
The folks in Amber Heights always manage to find a bottle or two of the good stuff.
Alright, Huxley. We've met before.
Oh, hello. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too, I guess. Made it back, I see.
Well, on the way back, I twisted something in my leg, foot area. Where does my foot end and my leg begin?
The ankle, usually.
Wherever that is, it hurts. So, no runs for me for a little while. Time to kick back and relax.
Without the kicking, I assume.
Huh? Why?
Because you hurt your leg.
Oh, ha! You're funny.
How did you hurt your leg?
I did a dumb thing.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was trying to get away from a terror ray. Usually, you can just get a ways from their nest and they'll stop following you. But this one was really persistent. Chased me for, I don't know, forever. Scratched me up back good. I barely got away. Then I tripped over a void damn rock. A rock! Not even a slippery one.
How long will you be out of commission?
Till it stops hurting, I guess. Zora says I'll be fine in a month or so.
Alright, sorry to hear that. I'll see you around, Hux.
Oh.
I'm looking for Chastity. Hey, whisk buddies.
Oh, she's such a gem. She gambles with me whenever I've got time to stop through Fallbrook. Ooh, I bet she's hiding. Does that when she owes people money. Ought to leave her be, though, if she doesn't want to be found.
Isn't gambling against your group's whole abandoned materialism thing?
I guess. But we still gotta pay for drinks, so I can't just... You're right. I've been awful. Okay, I'll tell you, so long as you don't rat me out. She's got a secret hideaway out in the middle of nowhere. I'll mark it on your map. It's pretty busy for an abandoned facility. Here, I want a key to the back gate off her, but I ain't going near that place.
You won this? Why'd you give it up?
She was digging real deep for that game. I think it was about the last thing on her.
It's giving away the key to a secret compound.
Well, I ain't gonna use it. And ain't nobody gonna buy it if they don't know the place exists, so... Besides, you help me, I help you. That's what friends do.
Fair enough, I'll consider the debt paid. About this secret facility, though.
Exciting, isn't it? Steeped in mystery.
Anything I should know?
Oh, once she did tell me about this one time when she set off an alarm outside the back so everyone would clear out. I don't remember why she did that. She was kind of drunk, though, so maybe she made that all up.
Entirely possible. Are there any guards?
You got me. If it's anything like the rest of Monarch, I'd take weapons with you, just in case.
Oh, I take weapons wherever I go, my friend. Isn't it just like any other abandoned facility?
Yeah, only there are people there.
Not so abandoned, then. Alright, never mind.
Okay.
But I'm glad you made it back.
Damn right. Ain't nothing in the wilderness can stop me. Except being locked up.
And this secret facility.
Exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, we've spoken about
mystery. This. Okay.
See you around.
All I'm saying is it ain't worth it. It's gonna taste like sulfur.
I ought to mention, the iconoclasts are...
Well, let's go to the bridge first. See what we might find here. The trail of blood leads away from the autoloader. Got a smuggler tunnel here. Ouch. Alright, let's get some food taken, shall we? Food addiction. You can't seem to stop from eating. Even food that's bland or horribly flavoured. Not eating will often cause withdrawals. Take that. We'll get an increase to the science one. Okay.
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway?
Set them off, mostly. Forget about that. What are you doing in this cave?
Hiding from the marauders that hit us, obviously. Now your turn.
Let me take a look at your wounds. I'll see what I
That
can do.
feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I gnawed through my last Spratwurst an hour ago.
I've got plenty of food. What's with all the traps?
Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out.
Oh, I know what happened to you.
Catherine had us making drops for some big shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret.
You think they're dead?
The marauders knew we were coming. Rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too.
And the marauders at the facility were just west of here?
Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell.
Oh, hit the wrong thing.
And the traps? Sounds right. If you got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine can reward you for your trouble. Me? I'm headed back to Fallbrook just as soon as I've caught my breath.
Alright, well you can do that and I'll take whatever's here. and get everything we can out of here. Okay. Something else up there by the look of it. $160 with burn. Just a stagger, but $629. That's $480. Let's give you that. I wish I knew what the 160 with the eye was. I suppose. You know what, I'll give Nyoko, you can have that. But then you've got something to burn. Out we go. Well, it looks like we have no choice. Next time, we'll be going to the UDL lab. Or making another attempt, at least. Oh, hang on. This isn't necessarily what I thought it was. I believe we've been in here. Research data. Logic logarithm shall result in a potent, mostly non-lethal crowd-control gas for use against rioting, agitated, or excessively numerous crowds. Rich sulfur pockets make Monarch a prime site for testing and experimentation. Further results show promise, but further research is necessary. UDL disavows all knowledge of and responsibility for logarithm. That's got the proof. And Sanders. Just reporting in to let you know the lab's all set up. We found a good sulfur packet to drill into, so the data's coming in. But this place smells awful. The only local we've had to make contact with is Sublight boss in Fallbrook. She doesn't ask questions. But I'm pretty sure she's gouging us. We're all getting sick of expired 60 bits. Valdez. Sanders, I suppose it's supposed to smell awful, that's the point. And I don't care what Sublight is charging as long as it keeps your presence there quiet. If word gets out, we're going to spend the rest of our lives in corporate re-education seminars. I don't want to hear from you again until you have a working formula. Okay. Tough boss. And they come up with a better... Sorry, and come up with a better name for the project. Something flashy and catchy. But the rest of management will take seriously. Maybe Waterloo or Dangerburn. Turn to route. Turn of projectiles. Packet. If Valdez wants to a better title, see how she likes these. AP. She's going to make... And she's going to be furious if she ever finds this list. And I'm not covering for you. Make sure these good and hidden. Underdog, Eggs Mayhem, Punk Parade, New Valdez. I want my raise. Alright. Alright, my friends, we'll pick up there next time. In the meantime, enjoy your coffee. May you have a blessed day.